My name is Ernest Lamoth. I'm a reporter for the Southland Journal. Jamal, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing better than some, worse than others. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good too. Thank you for taking some of your time.
No doubt.
Can you talk a little bit about, for people who don't know, just a little bit about your career and who you are?
Yeah. Hey, what's up? I'm Jahmal Cole, and I show up for people. That's what I do. I showed up in 2009 when I started volunteering at Cook County Jail, writing rap lyrics with the young men as a form of therapy. I showed up in 2013 when I started taking kids from the most under-resourced communities on educational field trips. I started a nonprofit called My Block, My Hood, My City. Now it's one of the most impactful nonprofit organizations in the state. Um, I show up for people throughout the pandemic. 8,000 seniors reached out to my organization, 8,000 seniors. And we were able to connect them to primary healthcare physicians, do contact tracing, ship PPE, food. I show up for small businesses. I use my Instagram page to raise millions of dollars and disperse that money to small businesses throughout the year. This is the second year in a row we've given out over $1 million. I show up for seniors. Every time the city gets overwhelmed by Mother Nature and the seniors are snowed in, I'm that person to show up with the shovels. Like I'm with the volunteers. We show up and we shovel seniors out. I show up for seniors throughout heat waves and pass out waters and deliver fans directly to their door. All I do is show up. My name is Jahmal Cole. I show up for people. I run a nonprofit organization called My Block, My Hood, My City, and we shouldn't even exist. We fill in the gaps for government, man. I could pass out turkeys on Thanksgiving for the rest of my life, but people still gonna be hungry on the 28th, the 29th, the 30th, the 31st. That's not a nonprofit problem. That's a food insecurity problem. That's a policy problem, right? I'm running for U.S. Congress to be a partner in government for nonprofits because we got to put our own money up. My after school program I just told you, my home, when the foreclosure starting it, people put their own money up to start after school programs. We need a partner in government that can support activists and support nonprofits. That's who I am, and I could talk for days like a preacher, but that's who I am, bro.
Okay. And talk a little bit about what finally made you decide that you wanted to run for office in general.
I mean, I this was I was the first candidate to announce. I didn't wait for somebody to pull out a chair for me. I didn't wait for permission. I didn't wait for Congressman Rush to step down. I was the first person to say, hey, we need support, man. We need help. And I stepped up. So there's, when you're jogging down the street and you get shot at, and when you wake up in the EMT and they say, don't jog that way anymore, right? That's a problem. When you are playing basketball at Cole Park and you see a kid underneath a slide, and the kid is got no shoes on his feet. He comes, well, where are your shoes at? Oh, I just got out of Cook County Jail. Well, they just let you out with no shoes and no money? Yeah. Okay, well, what'd you go to jail for? Well, I stole a car. Oh, I've been reading about, I've been hearing about this on the news. Y'all been stealing all these cars. What kind of cars you steal? Oh, well, I stole a Mustang. Dang, man, how does a teenager, how did you do it? How do you steal a Mustang? Oh, it was easy, Jamal. I just broke the window. I twisted off the ignition cap. I saw the red wire, the blue wire. I twisted those beads together and it started. I'm like, man, you sound like a Microsoft engineer right now, bro. He's like, really? This kid ain't never got no compliment before. No, I take the kid to get some shoes. I take him to give him some cash. He said, drop me off at McDonald's. I say, why? You hungry? I got you. He's like, no, I just want to use the Wi-Fi. Kids is going to, so I say all that. Those are policy problems, bro. Kids is going to use the internet at McDonald's. Cook County Jail just letting people out. How they expect it not to be a high recidivism rate? I mean, how do they expect the kid not to go back to jail? We were spending all this money on surveying people and not even giving them no support. Right? This is crazy. So what I do is, what made me decide to run is that I realized my arms aren't big enough you can't just nonprofit your way out of these problems. When I give out small business grants every other month, like last month, we gave out $250,000. 1,800 businesses applied. We can only support 50 businesses. That means 1,750 businesses went without. Bro, that's a federal level problem. That's a policy problem. It's not a nonprofit problem. So I have to scale up to help people more, and I had to step up, and that's why I did it.
And in general, what in your past made you decide you wanted to just be a public servant in general?
I watched the movie Malcolm X so many times growing up, and I thought Denzel Washington was Malcolm X. I like how he spoke in front of currency exchanges, in front of beauty supply stores. I mean, my first book that I wrote, I sold in front of Foot Locker downtown, right? Just talking to the people about, how to dream bigger than their surroundings. You know what I mean? So, and also, I read Obama's book. I mean, Obama's book was like a playbook to being an organizer, just how he did it in All Gill Gardens. I read that, I studied it. And also my dad ran for alderman when I was 11, and so he's my role model. He's a person that played Gil Scott-Heron, Malcolm X, Robert Kennedy, Richard Pryor. I mean, I grew up in a household just listening to storytellers. So for me, it was always about listening to people and being able to tell stories over policies. And so those, this path ain't for everybody, but I genuinely, and also, bro, I grew up like in a lot of homeless shelters. So I ate a lot of homeless shelters, right? And so for me, I've experienced homelessness. I've experienced being a victim of gun violence. I've experienced having my home foreclosed. I know what it's like for my mom to give me a food stamp, my brother a food stamp, my sister a food stamp, and say, spend 10 cents each and bring me back $2.70 because she want to buy bleach. Like you couldn't use food stamps to buy basic toiletries. You know what I mean? So I grew up like that. So these problems are personal to me. And I'm able to relate to people without judging them, and I can help people because I know the pain. I know the embarrassment when you're embarrassed to go eat Thanksgiving dinner because you're at the shelter and all your classmates got the clear gloves on volunteering. I was there. I know what it's like to break into homes. I did it, right? So I know what it's like to go to Cook County Jail and start a program. I did it. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
And why do you think government is not serving the people the way they're supposed to?
They are, well, because they have a good understanding of democratic governance, but not leadership. Like we have more of it's more than a policy problem. It's like a moral problem now, the way the budget's being dispersed. That we got money for all these, we got money to help Ukraine, but we don't have any counselors in the schools on the south side of Chicago. We need somebody that's going to be willing to do more than we need somebody that's going to be able to